Hey, welcome to Spit in the Bit. We're here talking about the Travers at Saratoga, going a mile and a quarter on the dirt. I think this is probably after the Triple Crown. This is the biggest race, well, for 3-year-olds, anyways. I'd say between now and the Breeders' Cup, or between the Triple Crown and the Breeders' Cup. I
Yeah,
think it's
there's
the
been
biggest race.
some big surprises out of this. Sometimes you get that horse that wasn't a part of the Derby Trail or fell out of the Derby Trail for one reason or another, and or a late bloomer,
Yeah,
Arrogate.
yeah.
Uh,
Next
you
year's championship series, this will be one of the 6 races that will comprise the championship series. So this is a
yeah,
big
I
one.
think it's going to be. I really think the Travers is going to um, go up in recognition amongst common horse enthusiasts just because of um, what's going to change next year. Because I
Yeah.
do think
Yeah.
you get, it's like the middle innings, like fine, you're up for nothing, but that don't mean anything in baseball, right?
Yeah. And I do like the fact that Saratoga, horse people love and know Saratoga, but man, let's get the regular fans getting to know Saratoga. That'll be a whole nother level of loving horse racing.
Oh
So
yeah, like Arcangelo a little while back. No, I think, and by my handicapping numbers, you will talk about it in a bit, but I love it because there's some horses in there that are kind of new on the scene, and the way they're going to do it next year, I think it'll really make the Breeders' Cup mean something.
yeah, and you like these new ones more than I do. Yeah, you like a couple of these newbies a lot. So,
I do.
before we get started, though, a couple of things. First, people, we need you to like and subscribe. We would really appreciate that. That would really help us out a lot. And again, we always like comments, good, bad, and indifferent. Things you agree with, things you disagree with, we missed. So feel free to comment. But more importantly, Kevin, I got a trivia question for you. All right, what candy bar was named after a thoroughbred racehorse?
Wow. The only one I can think of, and if it's true, then I always made the wrong assumption about the name or the origins of the name of this candy bar. Um, I'm gonna go with O. Henry.
No, your assumptions are correct. That's after Henry Aaron.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
Um, hmm. Any chance for a clue?
Yeah, it was in 1930. And the horse wasn't like a big name famous horse.
Um,
The candy bar is far more famous than the horse.
when did they name the candy bar? The same era?
Yep, the horse died in 1930 and they named the candy bar in 1930.
Nut Goody.
That's a really good guess, but no. It
Milky Way.
was in 19 it was the Milky Way farm was the farm that the horse was
Oh, really?
at.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't Milky Way?
No, the name of the horse was not the Milky Way. The farm was the family was the Mars family.
So it's the Mars Candy Bar.
Hmm. 1930, one of their favorite horses passed away. The horse's name was Snickers.
That's a better guess than or Nut Goody. But Nut Goody would be a good name.
Nut Goody was, hey, if we get to name a horse, it's considered Nut Goody.
I did not know that. But and Snickers is a perfect name for a horse.
Yeah, yeah. So Snickers was the name of their horse, and to
It's a good
honor
question.
them, they named a
Candy bar.
candy bar after
My
him.
second favorite candy bar. So that's saying something.
Pretty darn good. All right, well, hey, let's get into this, Travers. It's a super cool field. It's super interesting. It
I
has
agree.
some horses that were kind of on the Derby trail and then didn't do much or didn't get there. Some that were all over the Derby trail and they like the Puma and stuff. And then you had some like you said that have emerged since then. So let's go four and count down from 4-1.
All right.
Who do you like at number 4?
Well, and speaking, like of what you just referenced with new and with this up and coming, what are they actually going to call the race at
The championship series,
championship?
Thoroughbred Championship Series, yeah.
Because these horses are 3-year-olds, they're still growing and developing.
Hmm.
And who looks great at the beginning of the year, even through the Derby, doesn't necessarily, you know, end up being the horse down the line.
Yeah,
I mean, Trevor Young's probably proven to be the best of his class, right?
yeah,
And he didn't win the Derby. Um, so this race for me has um, two really intriguing horses that are late to the scene, basically, of the 3-year-old campaign. Like Arrogate was a while back when he just crushed the Travers, but he wasn't in any of the Triple Crown races. However, are we starting with our fourth most likely horse?
number 4.
I
Well,
have
not the number
Renegade.
4 horse. Your fourth place horse is who?
Renegade.
Renegade.
I have Renegade. He has um, proven that he belongs. I mean, he just shows up in every race. He hasn't been able to get by Golden Tempo, but he's gotten by um, some other horses, obviously. But he just shows up every race. He's just tough. He is a fighter.
Yeah, yeah, you always have to consider him. I have spoiler alert. I have him as my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. He just shows up. He is very consistent. He likes to compete.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I can't think of a race where he didn't bloody for using a fighter's term because he said he's a fighter. He bloodies the nose of if he doesn't win, whoever beats him has to earn it.
yeah, yeah, and I think like we talked about earlier, I think the Jim Dandy is a springboard to the Travers. That you win the Jim Dandy, you go in pretty good shape.
Mhm.
Um, for the Travers. So I like that his last race. I
And
just
maybe even more so this year, right? Because he ran in the Belmont too.
yeah,
Uh, So he's got
yeah,
two under his belt at Saratoga leading into this race.
right, right. So yeah, that's why I like it. And and then you have
Who's riding him? Because is Irad still hurt?
Irad is hurt. That is one of the knocks. Tyler Gaffleone is riding him, and it'll be he's been riding him in the morning, but
Mhm.
he this will be his first time on him for a race, and yeah, that kind of
Okay.
hurts a little bit. That Tyler's a great jockey, but it's not his. Yeah, so that is something that I'm a little bit concerned about, but I still have him as number 2.
Yeah, and Tyler's no slouch. I mean, he
No,
does well
no.
at Saratoga, and yeah, I like Tyler quite a bit.
All right, so who's your number 3?
My number three, speaking of the Derby Trail, is kind of Renegade's nemesis, Golden Tempo.
Me too. That's my number 3 is Golden Tempo.
And of my top four, if it's a hot pace or a hot moderate pace, I think then I like if somebody could tell me that, but it's no way of knowing that. But if that was inside information, all my money would switch to Golden Tempo. Um, you and I were
Yeah.
talking earlier. I don't mind that he's had 2+ months off. I think his work tab has been awesome. He's a bullet work, um, two back, but I just it just reminds me a little of Sovereignty last year with journalism. journalism, just a tough horse. It's going to show up virtually every time. But boy, Sovereignty has had his number. Um,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
just don't see Renegade's had the opportunity to win each time he's lost to Golden Tempo, but to me, it doesn't look like it's a contest.
Yeah, I do mind that time off. It might work to his advantage to have that time off to, refresh and all that. But it always concerns me a long layoff. Um, and so yeah, Golden Tempo is there's a bunch of little things that push him down to three for me because um, my niece Alexis she's a huge Golden Temple fan, and she watches this. She's going to be mad that I put him at three. But hey, I've never picked him to win, and I've lost money on him every time. So, but yeah, she's a huge fan. But I long layoff. Um, I know that the ninth post coming out of the ninth post is a little something. It's not a big deal, but that's a little something. I just think that the fact that they call it the graveyard scenario. Where the horse the favorite doesn't win at the Travers very often. In the last 10 years, only three favorites have won. And I think, that might not be a huge deal, but it is something.
Mhm.
Um, you know, y- y- so all these little things add up to me to
And I
say,
don't have
yeah,
Golden Tempo winning this race.
I know we
Uh,
both have a third, but it's gonna be the favorite, so we got to explain why we don't have it a winning. So,
well, and I have a reason. Even though I love this horse. I mean, in the Derby, he wasn't my key horse because if it was a slow, there's just so many things that can happen. I want horses for my key horse in the Derby that have better mid-race tactical speed to get in and out of trouble. Um, but he is the only horse that I had money on to win, and I think this horse has only lost one race. I think Ortiz lost the Louisiana Derby, but this horse has only lost one race, in my opinion. And he's that type of horse that he's going to run at whoever's in front of him, he's going after. And you better bring your A game. Um, and I don't, the reason I have him third is where I'm going. I like the on the lead, um, pressing the lead horses in this race better than I liked those style of runners in the Derby and in the Belmont. And I think he's going to have to work harder than he had to catch horses.
okay, yeah, I agree. It's you know, I think the Stalkers are going to have an advantage on this one. Um, Speaking of which, who do you have it to?
At two, I have a horse you and I have talked about almost from day one when we started doing this um,
God, I want to say
last fall.
almost a year ago.
Yeah. Our boy Napoleon Solo. Um, and if it's a Billboard top 100, he's a bullet for me. Because if one of there's a lot I love about Napoleon Solo. I don't think he's gonna have just on sheer talent, he's gonna be able to do what he did in the Haskell, in my opinion, which I also think is as important as the Jim Dandy, historically speaking. Maybe not to win, but it sort of reminds me of the Louisiana races for the Kentucky Derby. They don't often win, but some horse or horses from the Haskell almost is in the money.
Yeah,
And
I'd give you that the Haskells. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's a really solid prep race. Um, and so I love the just the speed, tactical speed of this horse is ridiculous. And he's going to be able to dictate the tempo. And he has a jockey switch that's going to help that immeasurably, in my opinion. He's got Johnny Velasquez on this time instead of Paco. And though I like Paco, he's a bit of a wild card, and he can make poor decisions. He can make really aggressive decisions that work out, and some that don't. And I know that he'll probably talk more about his ride in the Haskell, but I think this is a perfect horse for Johnny B, because he's going to
Yeah.
be able to take the tempo. And if he gets away with it, I think this horse is going to win.
All right. I yeah, so speaking of that horse is gonna win, that's why I have his number one is Napoleon Solo. Um Word around, not that I'm at Saratoga, but the word around Saratoga is, oh my gosh, Napoleon Solo is training so well. Oh my gosh, he looks so good. I think I may hurt his odds. I might think he might get bet down a bit because people
I
there,
think
the buzz about Napoleon Solo is just crazy there right now because he's looking so good. And I agree, Johnny V is going to be a really good jockey for him. I think he's going to. I like his post position. He's at the three, right? I'm seeing, yeah, no,
Yep.
he's coming out of the three, so he's going to get the lead in the rail, and I think that'll work to his advantage. I think
Yeah, if
he'll
Johnny wants the lead, he's going to have the lead.
yeah,
Like
I think yeah, he's set up to do that, and I think he's going to get the lead and try to set the pace at a little bit more of a moderate pace because
for sure.
he doesn't want to he doesn't give an opportunity to Golden Tempo to do his thing or
And to be
uh,
frank, he's not going to. My guess is there. There's rumors that the Chad Summers team wasn't happy with Paco Lopez's ride in the Haskell. At least part of that is he gave the rail to the local jockey on Baby Vino, and he paid
yeah,
for it.
yeah, Johnny won't do that. You're right. Johnny
No,
won't give up he'll take the rail and keep the rail.
unless
um
he knows that the rail is dead,
right.
he's going to take the shortest way around and he's get the lead and slow it down. But I there's a caveat to that. But you have him to win. Who do you have for your number two? I can't
I
remember.
I I had Renegade as my number two, which we
Okay.
talked about earlier, and then Golden Tempo three. I didn't talk about my four. My four is Silent Tactic.
Okay.
Real quick, just Silent Tactic. I think this horse could have some fun in this race. I think this horse could do something cool because I liked Silent Tactic going towards the Derby or approaching the Derby. And Silent Tactic had a long break where they had a foot issue, was dealing with it, and so kind of watching, waiting to see how he looked. And he came out, and I thought he looked really good. In the he took third in the Jim Dandy, and obviously the hoof is not an issue anymore. So he came out of that. So I think I'm going with that second time off of a long layoff. I think he's going to improve from the Jim Dandy, and if he does, I think he could hit the board. Not sure he's going to win it, but for my fourth horse to put in some exotics, I like him to, you know, I think he's going to improve. So
Yeah, well, and certainly he got Saez the last time out,
yeah,
uh, and he'd been on Christian Torres at Oaklawn. And it was a solid jump forward for his first time out after the Arkansas Derby, but for his whole career, what I didn't like about Silent Tactic going into the Derby, like it was one of the horses we kind of disagreed on, is he kind of leveled out. He had three races, in my opinion, at Oaklawn, the Southwest, the Rebel, and the Arkansas Derby, that by my numbers were pretty identical. But he made a good, jump up and not a crazy jump up. So yeah, I think it's a valid point. So I'm
yeah.
the inverse.
So
I love Mark Casse, so I can
yeah.
always talk to know Mark Casse first.
So my one is Napoleon Solo. My two is Renegade. Three is Golden Tempo, and my number four is Silent Tactic. So drum roll. Who do you have winning this bad boy?
I have Baby Vino with an asterisk. Like if I have Napoleon Solo with a bullet, I have Baby Vino with an asterisk. There's been days that I've made great money at Gulfstream Park because of Paco Lopez. Like he's kind of like a streak hitter in baseball. Like when he gets on a roll on the turf, he just makes me money. But like I said, I don't know why he was wide and kind of just gave the lane and then beat the snot out of Napoleon Solo trying to win. He I don't think he's a he could be fine, but he's the only asterisk I have against Baby Vino in this race. I love this little horse. I by my numbers, his last um, uh, 3, 4 races are exactly what I like to see on improvement, somewhere between like 6, 7, 8, 9% ticks up. But his last 4 races have done exactly that. Um, and in regards to tactical speed, and by the way, the part of that asterisk though, 2 back at Mammoth, um, Baby Vino's first stakes race. It was a non-graded stakes race, but Paco was the rider, and he won by 10 lengths going into the Haskell.
Baby Vino loves Mama, that's for sure.
Yeah, but he won prior to that. He won his maiden special weight win was at Oakland Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Uh,
that's right. Yeah.
so he's run at a couple different tracks. But Paco's proven that he can win with them and win well. Um, but uh, his race 3 back that he won by 2 and some lengths was slow, and they really slowed down in the middle of the race. Um, and then his Paco race was a very hot early pace, and he won by 10 lengths, just blew him away. And his last race with Vargas, the Haskell, was a moderate pace. I love horses like that, especially in a race like this, um, because I think the horse that we haven't talked about that I think is dangerous. I have a hard time believing he can go take this step up in class and hold up against these 2 really good front runners and 2 great closers.
I know where you're going.
But I think Sea Strikes.
Sea Strike, yeah.
Yeah, I there's no way that Chad Brown puts a horse in the Travers that he doesn't think has a shot to win. Um, because he's conservative. If he thinks that this horse is way outclassed, he's not going to put him in the Travers. There's plenty of good G3, G2, good different condition allowance races where you can make 150,000. Like he's not going to put him in this race, if, in my opinion, unless he thinks he's got a legit chance to win.
So yeah, Sea Strike is going on off at 5 to 1 on the morning line. So obviously a lot of people agree with you and like him.
Yeah, and I think part of that is sort of like your Jim Dandy um, angle, right?
Oh, for
Seems like
sure.
a huge race in the Curlin at this track. I think it's no. You've got the Derby and Belmont winner at 5-2. You got Renegade who won the Jim Dandy at this track at 3-1. Sea Strike won the Curlin at 5-1. I mean, those are your top favorites. However, by my numbers, I Napoleon Solo is going off at 8-1, and Baby Vino's going off at 10-1.
Yeah,
Um, and those horses are coming in from New Jersey, right?
right. Well,
Um,
like I say, I think Napoleon Soul will go off at won't go off at 8 to 1 just because a lot of the buzz around him. Um, but I think Baby Vino, you could get some good odds on Baby Vino.
I agree 100%. I think there's a general. I think because Johnny V's on going to Napoleon Solo, I don't think there's a lot of um, love for Paco. So
No,
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me that it stays at double digits, and which is fine by me. As long
Yeah, and like you're
as
talking about, there's some horses here that are going to take some money. That money's going to be spread out a little bit, don't you think?
oh, for
Um,
sure. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, even emerging market. I mean, I know going into the Derby, I when we were talking at some point in podcasts, I said the two horses I'm most intrigued about going into the Travers or later
yeah,
into
you
the
did. Yeah.
summer were emerging market and Renegade. Um, I didn't like emerging markets last race, but I really liked him going in the Derby.
Right, right, for sure. And then kind of an interesting one. We have possibly the best maiden in the country.
Oh, the
Sally is
richest
the
maiden. I think he's. I'm
the
pretty
ri
sure he's the richest
the
maiden.
richest maiden in the yeah.
He's almost won
Sally.
$1 million. He's
They
only
don't.
finished second twice.
Yeah, they don't care if he wins. I guess they just hey, let's just enter these races with lots of money, and you go do your thing and bring home some money.
This horse is so bizarre to me. Like I am not kidding. In almost every handicap, I've got him dead last again.
Well, yeah, well, he took a seventh in the Haskell. Didn't look good
And
all
I
there,
even wrote
but
a line through the Haskell, and I have him as dead last. I do.
yeah,
Total mystery to me.
but here he is. Anyways, so hey, let's recap what we got, what we're looking at. So who are your four?
I'm going with Baby Vino over Napoleon Solo, Golden Tempo, and Renegade.
Outstanding. And I am going with Napoleon Solo for first, second Renegade, third Golden Temple, and fourth Silent Tactic. Should be a really interesting
Super interesting. It sure
and
kicks the snot out of last year's.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
So
it's a really intriguing race. I'm excited about it. I don't think
yeah,
I'm going to be able to watch, but
you'll watch the replay.
I will watch the replay over and over.
Yes, you will. So yeah, should be fun. Hopefully you make some money. And again, people like and subscribe and put a comment in. Let us know what you think. All right.
Sounds perfect. Well, have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Perfect.